Hey guys, this is Allison from AllyKatkreations. How are you? I got my cute little co-host Morgan. I am extremely on edge today. So if anybody could help me out with a love donation, that would be extremely appreciated. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. It's freaking me out. So I'm doing episode 7 of the Gray Agenda. And of course, when I want to flip to something, it doesn't want to flip. Remember Mr. Mitra? I am not anywhere near done with this. Not anywhere near done. I got a great little buddy, pal, with him. Not done. I'm attempting to do a Draco drawing, but I don't like to draw that energy in. But we'll see. That's my little gray, my little tiny guy, my little hive-minded little clone guy. So tonight, I want to talk about hybrids and vrilling. So who's in control of the grays? The little ones, at least. The Draco. There's an alliance. The Law of One calls them the Crusaders, the Orion group. Now, we all know that not everything out of Orion is evil and negative and bad. And the same goes with all the star systems. They're all having good factions and bad factions, all in divine timing, right? It's true. With the abduction episodes, we talked a little bit about what they do to women and men and how they hybridize beings, because they claim that their race is dying out and, oh, we need DNA from humans and all this nonsense. And there have been a lot of people who have come out to tell their stories of implantations going wrong. Elena Denon talks about her story, and so does many others. So whether you want to believe in her or not, you know, the PSYOP thing is, again, I'm going to really reinstate this. Take what resonates with you. Take the person that's delivering the message, resonate with them or not. We're never going to know the real truth until we ascend, until we are told. And even then, you have to go within to know what is real and what's not. And everybody's perception and everybody's inner gut and everybody's guidance is different. And I'm going to say this, it also has a lot to do with timelines. Like I've said in other videos, I have went to mediums who told me that I was going to have a lot of things occurred that they told me was going to occur, and a lot of things never occurred because I jumped to different timelines. I was supposed to be married with a family by now, I'm going to be 39 on the 16th. I am not married. I have no one in my life. It's all just me. My family has abandoned me. I mean, I have 2 second cousins, but they can't help me out. Everybody else, and I have an aunt in Georgia who none of them can help me. That's it. That's all I have. I don't have anybody. It's just me, literally just me. And I know this is a divine thing, but it still sucks. You know, holidays are coming, even though holidays are all perverted and inverted, in my eyes at least. I'm going to be alone. So I'm used to that, by the way. The timelines have changed. It's not because the medium was wrong. It's because that's the timeline they were picking up on. Yeah. So when people are channeling, they're also getting intercepted. I listen to a lot of channelings. There's a lot of people who do channeling YouTubes, and certain names and certain things come up and it does not resonate with me. I might listen to the message just to see what it has to say, but I don't resonate with it because I know those entities aren't real. They're psyop. But that's me. Someone might get something out of that. It might trigger something inside of them to wake up. That's why, you know, a lot of people criticize some of the books that I read or some of the content I put out. It might not resonate with you and it might not wake you up because you're awake. There are other people who listen and something someone says sparks them up to thinking outside of the box. And that's really where the message comes in. And that's, in all honesty, everybody wakes up at different times and everybody wakes up in different ways. I happen to know about this stuff since I was in the 4th grade and probably even before that, especially with the alien agenda. Why? This is natural, guys. This coming out of my head. I went gray at 17. I dyed it a lot to hide it because I was embarrassed. And then by 28 years old, I can't do this anymore. And then finally, after bleaching out all the dark, and I still have it, you see, dark brown hair in the back, that just doesn't want to gray. It's not there yet. But the back of my head is all dark gray and brown. That's my original hair color back there. I grew it out. What was I going to do? My hair was dark brown, black. Real. I don't dye it. I haven't dyed my hair in a few years. I'm not human. Oh, I am human. I'm having a human experience, but my soul is definitely not from this planet. I don't fit in here. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. Wherever home is, that's where I want to be. And if it's beyond the Pleiades system or beyond what other mix I am, I want to just go back to my angelic being. That's where I want to go. Don't want to be here anymore. Seeing what I just saw in my bank accounts. I don't want to be here anymore. Nope. Nope. If this is my legacy, enjoy it. For real. Enjoy. Because I don't know how much long I might make it to my birthday. I'm going to try. But if my net is, I don't think it's going to get cut off until next month. So I'm going to try to cram in as much as possible. But I'm over this delusional shit show we're all being put through. Delusional. And while the rest of the people that are probably watching this all about the world, I mean, I'm really just talking about the United States, because the majority of the country is free to work without mandates. Counties here and there, yeah, you have to do certain dumb shit. In New York, oh, what lies. The lies. So here I am. Here I am. It doesn't matter who wakes up by what means, as long as they start remembering who they are, they wake up, at least to the understanding that there are good and bad aliens. They're not all this bad. Project Bluebeam is not going to come up and do another falsehood, flappy thing. Weird disclosure. I'm not the perfect person to be doing disclosure work. I'm not out there enough. I don't, it is what it is. There is Dr. Michael Salla. If you think he's a psyop or he's following, that's fine. He does put out information that you can verify. It all goes back to the patents. It all goes back to secret history and documentation that is able to be acquired. My favorite Jason constantly finds stuff unscribed. I can't afford the site. It's $10 a month. Scribed. Go there, look shit up. You can find a lot of this stuff to verify his work. The SSP people, same thing. They're disclosing stuff. They were talking about medical pods for a long time. And now we have med beds. Same shit. You know, there's a lot of people that naysay. And again, not all of these races are bad. Not all Greys are bad. Not all Reptilians are bad. We have the Gartha. There's Inner Earth. A lot of them live there happily and peacefully, don't want to be bothered. They just want to be left alone. And if they want to come up to be curious, hey, let's break bread. Just don't eat me. You know? But hybrids. This is a very interesting, I love this topic beyond belief, because they're amongst us. They have taken over a lot of us. And unfortunately, I could show some pictures. I have pictures queued up. I might show a video. I might. I have to see how I'm going to get that to screen share. And hopefully not get it taken down. I might have to do clips. But people have shapeshifted on camera. There's Telegram groups about shapeshifting. Skinwalker Ranch. There's videos and documentation about shapeshifting. The thing that freaks me out is because I have green eyes and they're like reptilian green eyes. Sometimes I think my eyes slant. And I've captured some photos and people are like, no, that's the reflection off of like the phone and whatever. And then I have to like keep asking myself, am I really shapeshifting? And I mean, if I am, I'm a good reptilian, I would believe so. This is freaky. Gives me the chills. Gives me the chills. So, none of my pictures are graphic, unlike the last time. There is some graphic images from the OrionLines.com. I'm going to focus this first half on the shape-shifting of reptilians. Then we're going to talk about the hybridization. I have an article that I found that's somewhat interesting. We'll see. I'll read some of it. And then from this book, we have some crossbreeding going on that I want to talk about. And I feel the reason why we need to talk about it, they're here. I mean, we're here. There are a ton of star seeds from all different star systems. We're here. This is how it works, right? They couldn't come in to intervene. Their beings coming here to save planet Earth. What they devised is having a bunch of starseeds incarnate on Earth to change the frequency, the energy of the planet, and try to heal the planet within. And then we have the veil of forgetting. So we effing forget who the F we are. And then we are plopped up and then start, light codes, plasma light beams, photon shit coming at us. And then all of a sudden we start getting ear ringing. We feel off or exhausted. We start getting snapshots of things. I know for myself, I see myself on a ship in all black gear with a freaking gun. So I must be a warrior up there in some capacity. This is just for my own sake, but a lot of people are starting to recall things, and a lot of people are starting to recall the past stuff too. Not just their future selves, but their past selves. A lot of people are confused. Their whole paradigm is just fading away from them. And this is why I feel this is needed to know. There are a lot of hybrids amongst us now. It's not just star seeds incarnating into bodies, human avatars. There are people who have been birthed by a human woman with gray genetics or reptilian genetics. And there's some other races as well. So they're here, like the children. And even some of them are already in their adulthood. Not as many as there are now. But this is going to be our future. We have to accept it. That child, in essence, yes, they made an arrangement to be that hybrid child upstairs, but they are innocent in the terms that they didn't, want to be born like that. No one wants to be born the way they're born. I'm sure if we had a perfect match, we could pick whatever we wanted, and you could do that by cloning. Those are among us as well. So we have to come to terms with this hybridization concept. We have to know that, some of them didn't choose to do this. And yes, it's a part of their soul plan, but consciously in 3D, they have no idea. And a lot of them don't know that they are a hybrid. They look like an avatar like you and me. And then sometimes things happen or they shapeshift. So there's a lot of different variations of hybrids. And then there are people who get vrilled. And I'm going to show you some examples of what that looks like. You ready? All right. So we have this thing right here. Can I draw on this? Probably not. Poopy. Okay. Where this little cursor is, do you see her eyes? That's reptilian. See those eyes? Reptilian. This is a famous comedian, by the way. Look at the eye. It's distorted. Is that human? Hell no. I thought this was kind of cool. This was in a photo in the sky. They're not shapeshifters, guys. I just find these things very interesting. And you can see there's an aura around the being in like violet. And you can see the little alien doodle in the trees. I'm going to be brave right now. Let's see if I can. Okay. So viewer discretion is advised. This is for entertainment purposes only. And if you are squeamish in any way, shape, or form, please do not look. I will tell you when to look back. Right now, you could read this screen, and it's going to show you something that they do, and I'll explain it after, but look away now. And for those brave of you, don't get nightmares, and I'm going to shut the music off so I don't get censorship. I can't even. That's a parasite that they just placed in somebody's eye. Now you can look. Told you. So when you see somebody with a black eye, they insert the parasitic vril and it wraps around the optic nerve, and then it goes straight back to the pineal gland that supposedly tastes like walnuts. And that is where that person's consciousness and soul goes adios, and it's replaced with the reptilian. And then they have claws that come out, and their teeth shift, and their tongues morph. You can see claws. But a lot of the time you could see it in the eyes first when they shift, because there's like if you look at a lizard or a snake, they have the extra the fold. You could see that happening. And then they do, they wink a lot and then their eyes are back to normal. Yep. There's a lot of videos on really good shape shifting and morphing. So go check those out. They're on Telegram. I'm sure there's in other spots, but the information is very free flowing there. So that they do that. They also soul scalp. So they put people in a trip seat and they bounce your soul out of you and then they throw something else in. They could do that as well. That stuff happens. And it happens to a lot more people than you think. And then just like the Men in Black, they do have mind wipe technology that they wipe your brain of those memories. So you don't even know until you do hypnotic regression. If I make it out alive in the next month and I could somehow start being able to live again and have security and financial security, that is something I definitely need to do, because I need to know a bunch of stuff that I sort of remember, but I don't, but I need that validation. I need validation. I definitely do. So the hybridization doesn't just necessarily happen with humans, it happens with aliens as well. That is a gray insectoid. Gray insectoids come from Mu Draconis. Oh, what a shocker. A binary star in the Draco constellation. Gray insectoids are a hybridization of tall grays and mantis beings. Some mantis are good and some mantis are bad. They're 8 to 10 feet tall and have long, emaciated looking bodies, spiny arms, extra long, slender fingers. Their oversized bulbous eyes are a cross between the tall grays and the mantis beings. Some have the mantis pupil, but others do not. They look frail. They are quite strong. Gray insectoids are primarily in service to themselves. They are neutral yet selective and secretive race and keep to themselves. Gray insectoids are proficient geneticists. They collect genetic materials from races they come into contact with. Their intention and role in genetic engineering on Earth is unclear. Gray insectoids have advanced cube-shaped craft that are equipped with state-of-the-art genetic labs. They are multidimensional instruments when extracting genetic material to avoid pain of those under their abduction. Some craft are organic and others are not. But in both classifications, they are mental connections to maneuver their ships. The telepathic range of gray insectoids exceeds normal ranges. They are a telekinetic race. Due to the electromagnetic energy enhancements programmed in their auras, gray insectoids can tune their frequency to become invisible and walk through walls. Don't they look like anime? The Sasi Beings. The Sasi Beings are from a parallel reality 300 years in the future. The humans of the version of Earth lost their way in their dimension and destroyed their planet. They mutated into the Greys to survive, but could no longer reproduce and were dying out. Since our DNA was close to theirs, they visited our timeline for genetic materials and crossbred with us to create the following hybrids that would allow their culture to continue. Hybrid 1, small grays are known as the maize. Hybrid 2, taller grays are known as the manzani. Hybrid 3, Sasani beings are half human, half gray. Hybrid 4, Shayelel beings are slightly more human looking. Hybrid 5, the Yaels, becoming the sixth hybrid race known as the Anunnaki. Anika. I know I'm not pronouncing that. Ayana, hybrid children who eventually live on Earth with humans. Hybrid 7, Anuhet, a blending of all six hybrid races in thousands of years. Physical characteristics: the Sasani beings are 5 feet tall on average. They have thin bodies with larger heads and eyes, but smaller noses and mouths. Their skin is pale. Males have no hair. Females have hair that tends to be white, but there are exceptions. They have 5 fingers and 5 toes. They're super intelligent beings with an increased brain capacity and emotional balance. The Sasani live by the 5 laws of creation. You exist. Everything is here and now. The one is the all, and the all are the one. That's what I keep saying. What you put out is what you get back. Everything changes except the laws. If I could be a mother, I would be a mother to these guys. Maybe that's where my destiny leads. If I make it. Hi, spirit team. Something needs to manifest. Cosmic agenda. Because of the successful hybridization of the Greys and humans of Earth, the Sasani feel a kinship to us and have traveled to our parallel reality to share the advanced laws of physics with us, to assist us in moving into 4th density to the 5th dimension. They have chosen to come and help our transition to be a joyful one by expanding our awareness of the unlimited possibilities that are available to us. A simple Sasani belief: integrity equals behavior aligned with thoughts, aligned with emotions, aligned with positive beliefs. They believe that self-empowerment is the key to mastery. Technology: Sasani beings have triangular parallel reality travel craft, dark metallic in color, about 30 feet on each side. On the truncated underbelly points, there are 3 blue-white lights and 1 orange-red light mid-center. Their smaller craft are scout ships. Slightly larger triangle ships are exploratory craft, and motherships or city ships are cylindrical and can be 1 to several miles in length, holding hundreds of thousands of individuals. The ships are sentient AI that are telepathically connected to the pilots for navigation. So that is true with other Galactic Federation type ships. They can use electromagnetic and gravitational fields for sublight travel and use location displacement drives powered by universal energy for instantaneous relocation between star systems. Sasi beings are fully conscious, sovereign, and telepathic. They can transcend time and space with their minds and are thus able to contact beings in other parallel realities, since they understand that all realities exist simultaneously. That they do. This interdimensional communication process is the basis for their ability to channel through Earth humans and other beings, since it's nothing more than a telepathic link between two beings in different but simultaneously existing dimensions. The Sasi live in a different frequency of reality in a higher fourth density, quasi-fifth density, or sub-octave reality that vibrates 10 times faster than our reality. Thus, while we may think of them as being 300 years ahead of us in the future relative to our reality, their civilization is actually 3,000 years ahead of ours technologically and socially. I'm going to skip over one. Syrian Insectoids. Syrian Insectoids are from the Sirius star system in the Canis Major constellation. Syrian Insectoids range in height from 7'5" to 8'2". These insectoids have ultra-thin bodies with long arms, 4 long fingers, with an extra joint and no thumbs. Their lengthy legs are spiny, and under their 4 long toes are suction-like fibers used for balance. They have quite elongated craniums and a thin facial structure with large almond-shaped eyes, usually purple or blue, and a small nose and short, thin lips. Syrian Insectoids believe in service to self and partial service to humanity. They're a neutral race that sometimes disobeys cosmic laws. The starseed alignment is working with the Syrian Insectoids to bring them into full consciousness and ultimately become indoctrinated in the galactic alignment of space peoples and planets. Never heard of that. The Syrian Insectoids live on a world of insects that come in many shapes and sizes. They specialize in insect genetics. Syrian Insectoids' everyday travel is in oval globes. Syrian Insectoids are dualistic beings. Their language sounds like tonal buzzing, and although they are not yet telepathic, they are tonopathic, able to send, bounce, catapult language tones to a recipient across great distances. Syrian Insectoids are moving into fourth density, as are we. Zeta lizard humans. Zeta lizard humans come from the Bootes constellation. Average height for male and female Zeta lizard humans is 4 to 5 feet. Although they look similar, they are able to tell each other apart due to telepathic honing, identifying each personality internally. They have large pear-shaped heads, enlarged almond-shaped eyes, regular eyelids, and an additional nectarine lens that works like a pair of sunglasses. They have reptile slits for pupils and small open cavities for ears and a tiny nose and mouth. Their skin is akin to a Gila monster. Its hues tan, brown, and beige. Zeta lizard humans believe in the cosmic law of one. They love their interconnectedness to all beings, to the heart and soul of the universe, to animals and plant life, and so on. They're in tune with nature, and therefore nature is in tune with them. Zeta lizard humans are members of the galactic alignment. They are onboard alignment vessels over Earth, assisting with the Great Awakening on the planet from afar. They enjoy assisting Earth's cultures by elevating our minds, bodies, and souls to ultimately become at one with the universe. They are master diplomats, theologians, and possess immense joy in their heart. 3 traits that guarantee success while meditating over worldly disputes. Zeta lizard humans have galactaran motherships, starships, thought ships, fleet ships, and scout ships. They have a variation of fleet craft that are oval, saucer, and cylinder shape. All their craft and command centers use biological supercomputers. Zeta lizard humans are fully conscious and sovereign beings. They are harmonious and empathic telepaths. You can feel uplifted when receiving their imagery, emotions, words, and cannot help but smile when they communicate. Zeta lizard humans can exist up to the 5th density. Well, I know, you think they're evil and they're really good. But that's good for us. Go home team, go. Go the Lions, go. Go, go, go. Sorry guys, it's still raining here and my back hurts. Hate adjusting and get my face. So this next thing I want to read is the www.hybridsrising.com hybrid project. So yeah, I wanted to kind of read this. I'm not reading the full article. I took snippets of it. I might not read the whole thing, just key points. There's a lot to the hybrids. A lot. There's different components. And I feel like if us starseeds are here feeling like this, can you imagine what it is to be a hybrid? Many of us have abilities. Many of us, follow the law of one to the extent that it can be followed. Many of us are in getting attacks. Even, it doesn't matter how many shields you put up and mirrors and all kinds of ground yourself. Yeah. And then there's soul contracts. I chose the hardest life for now. I don't know why. Maybe one day I'll find out why I'm being tortured. So in this article, a solid core of abductee experiencers have been reporting differently appearing types and perhaps even species of greys over the past 70 years. It's likely these reports go back further than that, but for purposes of this discussion, we will focus on what are considered modern-day cases of contact. I hate when I do that. Contact experiencers have observed that many of the beings have very delicate bodies and many are described as very frail. Some have touched their hands and have described them as seeming featherweight or they felt their bones maybe be hollow or the bones of a bird. There is speculation that some might in fact have characteristics similar to that of the type of dinosaur called theropods, which share a common ancestry with birds. One fascinating concept we have learned about the beings and about ourselves is that of a shared or dual consciousness. Some beings, including certain greys, appear to be able to place their consciousness in another body, at least temporarily. This has been described by abductee experiencers as dual consciousness between them and the gray or another type of being. Other experiencers have described the sharing of consciousness as if a life force were actually being exchanged, or they felt they actually entered into a different physical body. Well, that happens when you get cloned and they fragmentize your soul. They can do that. Examples of a shared consciousness or dual consciousness are when a gray appeared to die and the experiencers saw its life force enter what they believed to be a blonde Nordic child, or perhaps a human hybrid child who had blonde hair and pale skin. The child was alive and appeared to have its own consciousness prior to taking on that of the gray, so in effect, his body contained two consciousnesses. Another experiencer exchanged bodies with another human who had also been abducted and was able to experience all the emotions they were experiencing. In a third example, the life force of a blonde entered into the experiencer in order to interact with another experiencer. I mean, that can happen too while you channel. Like, I know sometimes in my sleep, people have woken me up saying that I was talking and it didn't sound like me, but I wasn't moving. I was just talking. I was obviously I was passed out. I was sleeping. And then probably something entered into my being. They didn't say that they felt, scared or anything. And then they abruptly wake me up and then here I am. Interesting. Since this article was originally published, we have two new links to share involving shared consciousness. One involves mantids or mantis, appearing beings, and other is from the original book source that is now published online. I will drop the link to the website below so you can go look at it. Dan Wright's research entitled The Abduction Transcription Project reported that 3 persons said that they felt that their souls, have been placed somewhere into the body of a gray alien. They recognized their own hands as those of a gray entity. Since there were no mirrors available, they couldn't tell what the rest of their bodies looked like. One commented that his body felt much slimmer than his normal stocky frame. 2 of the 3 remembered that the purpose of their being placed in an alien body was due to the fact that the ship was about to travel interdimensionally and a change to the body was a different vibration was necessary. These few individuals felt a strong connection with the aliens and even felt that they, in fact, had a dual existence. 16 of the subjects voiced a conviction that the entities are their true forebearers. That's not uncommon, actually. Other examples include experiences life force or consciousness entering into animals, and they in turn felt the instinctual nature and drive of the particular animal. A final example is when an experiencer's consciousness entered a primate's body during a lab experiment, which was causing extreme pain and trauma to the animal. The subject described the pain as so intense that I wanted to die. Simply to have the lab doctors look at me whilst in the body of the monkey caused me severe pain. I wanted to die. These types of shared or dual consciousness exercises, for lack of a better term, occurred often more than one might think. And as you can see from the examples provided, they are very disturbing and difficult for experiences to endure. The HR team believes these types of shared consciousness exercises are carried out mainly for teaching purposes, both for the experiencer as well as the extraterrestrial being. There is also the possibility that Dan Wright's subjects were correct, and this is done so the abductee experiencer can travel through a different type of space. Some beings also lack the level of emotions humans possess, and they are learning through us. Others appear more advanced in this area and are teaching humans about empathy for other humans as well as empathy for animals. On a darker note, some may also be carried out as means of punishment on the abductee experiencer. These exercises have reportedly been carried out by Greys, blonde Nordics, and ET human hybrids. A particular interesting case involving the shared consciousness was carried out on the abductee experiencer was told and saw White Sands, New Mexico during the 1990s. The subject found themselves on a military base and in the presence of high-ranking naval officials, at least one scientist. They were told they wanted to study the alien within them. The demeanor of the naval officers who were present was one of extreme discomfort bordering on fear. Whilst the subject believed they appeared normal on the outside, the HR team believes the abductee experiencer's consciousness was actually inside the gray, and they were experiencing a state of dual or shared consciousness. This is the reason why the naval commanders, one whom was an admiral, were so uncomfortable being in his or her presence. While suspect, they were not seeing a human, but rather a gray, and this extreme implications on several levels. Physical commonalities and differences. The group of beings referred to as grays have skin colors ranging from light gray to dark bluish gray to steel gray, as well as skin tones in the tan to brown range. Despite their different skin tones, they exempt of their heights, their overall physiology is similar, and they are normally categorized according to their height and observed hierarchical status relating to their behavior and tasks they are seen performing during the procedural processes that are carried out on abductee experiencers. Nearly all grays have arms that are proportionally longer than human arms, and some appear to have extra arm joint as do their 4 fingers. Not surprisingly, the taller grays appear to have extra long joints. Very few have discernible ears, and their noses are nearly non-existent, as are their lips. No hair is reported unless they are donning a wig for camouflage purposes. Oh my God. All grays are telepathic and use mind to mind through the eyes, optic nerve, communication methods. Again, the vril parasite. From reviewing cases and the literature regarding alien implants, it appears that some beings may accomplish this or enhance this type of communication with the use of neural implants placed in the subject while is still in the womb or during early childhood. We also believe it is possible due to specific transgene being present in abductee experiencers and the specific unlocking or activation of what scientists refer to as junk DNA, which is now theorized to be extraterrestrial origin. You know, when I read this the first time, it didn't really snap into my head, and now it's snapping into my head. What's the agenda with that? Were they trying to shut that off? Not necessarily just genociding people? No, really think about it. That was exposed, right? They made you do this. For some of us, we didn't. And if that is linked to our ET future past selves or in the moment selves, now I'm very curious. Were they trying to shut that off so we couldn't ascend? I mean, it's all in God's creators. The source, the one, the all control. Interesting. These grays have been described as having a very unusual energy associated with them, and people normally react out of an instinctual fear the first time they encounter one. Their method of locomotion can be so quick, they can sometimes appear to be moving as if floating, and at times appear to be in a phase-like state, seemingly appearing for brief moments to be in two places at once. This type of movement was also described in Kelly Cahill's case, which is covered in our Tall Blacks document. The small type 1 grays do not wear clothing, and as we understand it, an exterior genitalia have not been described. Ooh, baby. Another being that would fall into the type 1 category would be the ones Betty Anderson saw in 1977. Her account was published in Raymond Fowler's The Anderson Affair in 1979. The shortest being she saw wore what appeared to be soldier uniforms. When they passed through a closed door in her kitchen, they moved in a jerking motion that left a vapory image behind. This vapory after image tells us the beings Betty Anderson saw moved in a very similar manner as the tan or brown type 1 gray pictured above. The pictures are on the site. So talking about like the gray abductee stuff. Their dedication to scientifically oriented tasks had led them to be remembered most often as beings that perform various medical and technological procedures on abductee experiencers. The medical technology they, as well as other species of beings, employ is near to what one would imagine to be Star Trek medical technology. Some of the procedures they perform seem to have an interdimensional quality to them, and the devices they use can instantly cauterize, close, and heal human and animal tissues very nearly simultaneously. So, and I know we went over like the abduction stuff, but I told you it wasn't going to stop. It's always going to come up. And I know we're talking about hybrids, but I felt that this explains a lot of what hybrids might go through, that they're not necessarily in control of their bodies and or minds, that there might be a link or a quantum connection. Another abductee experiences have witnessed people having their abdomens opened up, seeing the organs removed, examined, and then placed back in the abdominal cavity with almost as much ease as human would change a light bulb. It is difficult to deny that their technical and medical proficiency and the similarity of their physiological attributes. These grays may indeed be a combination of the biologic combined with the technologic, and the HR team is referring to these beings as synthoids, beings that are organic and synthetic, yet still more sentient than most humans can accept. I wonder how many of those are running around right now. Like I said, guys, I'm just trying to okay, here we got some hybrid stuff. They're sometimes referred to as pilots or navigators, since they are most often seen piloting various types of craft. These beings are considered grays, but they, as well as hybrids, oftentimes don wigs in order to conceal their true appearance. In the case of the cigar-shaped craft, each of these grays have long blonde hair, and it is unclear if these are wigs or if this species indeed has hair and perhaps a hybrid form of gray. These beings also look very much alike and are telepathic, as are most of the advanced intelligence's discussion on this website. It's true. And they talk about crafts, bodysuits. So this is by Hybrids Rising. I will link the website. Very interesting. Really go check them out. A lot of good stuff on there. But it gives us an insight how intricate hybridization is. From just a gray perspective, we're not even talking about Palladian, Syrian, Abdominin, all those hybrids. There are hybrids of all different types. I mean, we see that with the droning and the vril, the reptilians invade us using those methods. So the Simpsons is right that the aliens are controlling our government and everything else under the sun. And, you know, you can't just say like, oh, everybody with slit eye pupils. Yeah, they might be a hybrid, but they might be of the good, benevolent reptilian races. They exist. They're on Mars. They're underneath us. There are sentient good reptiloids out there. And we may be crossbreeds with some of them. And some of these government officials might be too. So we can't just automatically assume, I mean, we're all aliens. Humans are just another species and type of alien. We're just less evolved than these guys and less technologically advanced. We're going to get there. We're going to move on up. It's just a matter of when. And it's happening now. I mean, it's been happening since the 70s with the envoy. I mean, and I know my mother was a starseed. She was from 46. You know, Dolores Cannon talks about the first wave. My mother, my adoptive mother is definitely a starseed. I wouldn't put it past it. And I am one too. It's just different now because I do not freaking blend in. I am not seen as, you know, I've been outcasted my entire life. I have been putting in and looking around for jobs. I cannot find a job. I'm a very good person. I'm a very hard worker. And, you know, I have physical limitations, but I can't, I don't know what it is. I'm just not on that frequency of these people that are around me here. And it's becoming like, I don't know what to do anymore. I really don't. I'm like in this stuck energy. I can't move away from it. I'm trying and doing all different types of things, thinking up and scheming, and not scheming in a bad way, but just like coming and trying, brainstorming with ideas to move forward and push past this nightmare that I live in right now until things really do hit the effing fan and we're all in this same spot. And oh, and then abundance comes and then we can all do our thing. I don't know when that's going to happen. It's supposed to happen by now. And I don't know how much longer I can hold out for that. Because when the lights shut off and I can't eat and feed myself, and, you know, I'm very thankful that I have friends that think of me, that help me out. I had a delivery today from a really good friend of mine, which is basics. Like now my accounts are at 0, so I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss. I'm in the negatives. People have really have helped me out. One stepped up major, the guy that I did an interview with, like he's a forever member of this channel. But it's scary to know when you're not from here and then you have another home, how are you going to get back? Is it that your vehicle dies or that you're going to ascend and they're going to take you? Because I am calling out to my Stark family, you better take me home because I can't take much more of this. I can ignore it and put it out and like not check the websites and just go about my everyday life like I've been doing, but that still doesn't pay the bills and it doesn't help, right? And I'm sorry I'm like ranting on my own personal shit, but I think I'm not alone in this battle. And I know a lot of you who are watching this are in very similar situations. So I, you know, obviously I don't have anybody to vent to. So it's going to be you guys. But can you imagine though, being a hybrid and having to live through this nightmare? Or being exchanged, your soul was exchanged with an ET and now they're whipped into this torment. Like, look what the fuck you did to us. Now you're being punished by being in a human body. Now you got to deal with the consequences. How does that feel? Because you can't feel, you're on a hive mind AI nonsense with your black goo and which is very interesting. Go rewatch like how I'm reading books in the time of now. You know, I get a lot of people commenting. Again, I have to repeat myself so many times. Like I read out of like, hi, something will trigger somebody to wake up and to like understand. Not all the books that I read do I personally perceive as it being the one and only, right? I don't, because it's a combination of everything. You have to have good balanced with evil. You have to. That's how duality works. That's how this third dimensional system works. Moving on up, there's a whole new set of things that needs to, you know, be adapted to. But can you imagine being swapped? I know I had a soul swap with my higher self. That's different. It's still me, but my higher self was like, oh shit, she's going to explode. I need to come in, and that part of her needs to heal. That I know. Because my whole paradigm freaking shifted in one day. And I started seeing the world completely different. Not that I didn't see it differently, but my eyes, the validations, and then spirit started to come to me a lot more clearly. I started seeing a lot of different videos, being introduced to all these people, 4 years ago. And then it started just escalating from there. And then everything started to happen. But I've been, like I said, I've been reading these things since I was in the 4th grade. And I also, on top of that, reading reincarnation books at the same time. So go figure how those two, I did not make that connection until 3 years ago, that the books I was reading all the way back when were signposts of things that I need to understand. Reincarnation and abduction. Mic drop. I might do part 2 on hybridization. I'm trying to find pictures. Hang on, I might have some actually. I have to look for them. I found 2 pictures. I don't know how real this is. I don't know if this is FX makeup, but this is what we could possibly be looking at in the near future. We have this. I mean, look at the eye, the orbital lobes. I mean, normal ears, normal nose. I mean, it's just the shape of the head is gray alien looking. And the eyes, obviously. And we have this woman. Look at the eyes. The shape of the face. I mean, her eyes, I mean, it's really hard to see here. But, and I wish I could zoom in, and I'm sure I cannot. Oh, there we go. And look at that. I mean, they're beautiful. Very beautiful. So, I mean, these are the things that we're going to be seeing in our near future. If not already, we just haven't paid attention. I mean, there are children in Africa with like crystal blue universal, like their eyes are just gorgeous. Gorgeous. They're not from this world. Hell no, they're not from this world. Hi, co-host. So yeah, this is something that we're going to have to embrace. Here she is, Miss Grumpy. But I hope that, what I showed you guys today brings up the idea that we can be manipulated. We have been manipulated. Our essences have been manipulated. As long as you don't got cat butt in your face. Many of these beings are among us now. And they're going to be coming out more once and if disclosure happens from the government, which I doubt it. I think it's going to be us. spreading the word, getting the word out. So it's up to you to look into these things further. I hope I triggered some people in a good way to awaken, to wake up. These things are happening. They might not be happening exactly, but the articles, the photos, you know, there's no way everything is a psyop. That's everybody's go-to word nowadays, is just a psyop. There's truth to everything. Even all the inverted stuff, okay? They have to tell you the truth. The reptilians are satanic. Okay? They have to tell you that's their karma, service to self. Karma is to tell you the truth. They just don't know, and we just don't know that they do it through movies and music and visual stuff that we don't oblige to not giving consent to, because we paid the ticket and we are watching and giving consent. But the X-Files is absolutely self-disclosure. They were talking about the black goo and what it looks like. Back then, they were talking about the UFOs and all types of goodies. Star Trek is the future we're moving into, you know. These are the things that we're going to be headed into, whether people like it or not. And people are seeing things in the sky. People are witnessing things in the middle of the woods, seeing strange lights, all these anomalies happening. So it can't all be fake. And millions upon millions of people are now seeing it and waking up to it. So it can't all be fake, and it can't be all a psyop. So people really do need to readjust their thinking and their biases towards things. Yes, there are people with disinformation. Yes, there's paid opposition. Absolutely. No one's saying there isn't. But you have to discern it within yourself. But don't deny a person because you personally believe this one is a paid op or that one's that. You know, I don't disclaim anybody from watching David Wilcock or Corey Good. They bring really good stuff to the table. Do I think they were infiltrated? Yes, I do. Do I believe that everything they say is absolutely like solid, like my insiders? Listen, if you've been following the UFO community, insiders get killed. So yeah, they're going to call them insiders and they're going to call them intel, and that's it. They don't have names and they're not revealing shit, because that's the real deal, what happens to you when you talk. And a lot of people are under non-disclosure agreements. They can't. They can trickle things and walk around the topic without telling you. That happens too. Oh, but they're fake. Go within. Compare your notes to other things. Do deep digging. There's a lot out there. You just have to know where to find it. Scribed is one of those places you can find a lot of stuff. You just need to know how to dig. A lot of people on TikTok are starting to, you know, go back to Alex Collier, go back to a lot of the other goodies. And now they're finding out things and they're comparing notes now. And now you're able to see things a little more clearly. Where the disclosure. So if there's anybody out there who would love to talk about this topic with me, do a live, do a video, please reach out to me by the end of this month, because I don't know what next month is going to bring me unless I get abundance, a miracle. Someone wins the lottery and gives me a piece of that lottery winning. I'm now really in destitute, and it's not a very easy place to be in. So if you would like to be interviewed, please reach out to me. I have the capacity to do it just this month. I have to live in the moments of now, right? The present moment. I have to live for now, because I don't know if tomorrow is going to be given to me, and I don't know what's going to be a month from now. So I have to live in the moment, but I would love to have other people on. I'm going to try to reschedule another Urantia talk with Paul before Easter, I am hoping. This cat knows how to get on my nerves. She takes her claws and she claws on everything, and that noise seeps into my soul. It's so bad. So bad. Anyway, she eats paper too. She rips paper to shreds. It's bad. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode on hybrids. And I hope that the video that I showed earlier was for entertainment purposes only. And I gave fair warning. Just be aware that that's really happening. That's not fake video from what I could tell. And truth is out there. It's up to us to find it. Sending each and every one of you love and light. Praying for everybody who's been affected by the weather. Praying for everybody who's in the struggle right now. I'm praying that this is the month that we see things through. Things start happening. Things start happening for all of us that are in a positive way and getting out of this negative timeline. We need to get out of it, and we need now. So let's manifest it together as a community of light, love, light beings, like minds. Please don't forget to share, to like, and subscribe to my channel. We need to grow this community. She wants my attention. She's so bad. That's what happens. She has the same birthday as me, by the way. She's an Aries. I'm an Aries with heavy Leo. Leo is in my sun, my Venus, and a bunch of other planets. And then I have a Pisces moon, and I'm like water heavy, massive fire. Aries is only in my chevron. That's it. I'm an Aries born and chevron. That's it. Everything is Leo. I have one Sagittarius, Capricorn, and one Pisces. I have like an Earth in there somewhere as well. Freaky! Just telling you, I'm very fiery. I am the lion. Hear me roar. I will see you on the next one. This is going to be a longer series than my Anunnaki and the Emerald Tablet one, because I'm going to try to scrape it in. But if you liked it, please make sure you hit that like button for me. Get the algorithm going. Bye, guys. Have a great day, night, or morning, wherever you happen to be.